What's up, coaches? Hope you guys are doing well. Here's our video for Monday. So this is day one of horsepower training cycle. Excited to get into it. Just like we've done in previous weeks, the link to the warm-up is posted at the top. Same style warm-up we're going to be working in right from the beginning. No whiteboard talk. This should be very short and sweet, 5 to 7 minutes tops. Round one, slow and smooth. Round two, moderate with a moderate time domain, and then round three, fast and short time domains. All right. Make sure you click. There's a couple of movements here that you may or may not have experience with. Make sure you click and watch that video on today's warm up. So let's dive into the strength of the day. So this will begin to look very, very familiar. The patterns will repeat themselves. This is our first strength day within the cycle. What we're employing is the power of these small repeated sets of heavy but perfect practice. So I'm not going to go through all of the variations. They're written out and they're explained in the notes. But for everyone, that's what we're after, these small repeated sets of heavy but perfect practice. And that's the overall principle that we're really shooting for, all right? So all squats are going to be at 30x0. That's regardless of the variation that we're doing. We're looking for a controlled descent going just below parallel to an explosive stand, all right? That's going to look different for different people, but that's the intent and the point of emphasis. And then all movements should be 30 seconds or less. So that's the squatting, that's the dumbbell rows each arm, that's the vertical throws with the med ball. All movements should be 30 seconds or less. It should feel like an interval-based piece here where we have a clear work cycle, whether that be the squat, the row, or the throw, and then we have a clear rest cycle. A clear work cycle and a clear rest cycle, all right? We don't want to feel like we're doing a 15-minute AMRAP here. We want to get in, get that movement done very, very crisply, and then rest, reset, and then move on to the next movement, all right? So the strength competitor track, the strength performance track, we have 85% of 1 rep max and 85% of 5 rep max. Super important to understand that the percentages of window of suggestion, all right? We want to hit the stimulus of heavy but perfect. 85% is not right for everyone. Strength is fickle day to day. You've got different athletes with different neuromuscular capabilities, nervous system, so on. So 85% is a window of suggestion that can be taken down or up. All right, somebody that has a really, really big max is likely going to be lifting a little bit lighter. Somebody that's relatively new has a lower max. Ladies may be lifting a little bit higher. So use that as a point of reference, and then up or down based on hitting that really heavy but perfect stimulus and hitting that tempo. All right. Remember that they have the choice of doing front or back squat. We want them training the exact same way that they tested. All right, so dumbbell rows each arm. We're not doing any tempo here. Heavy but perfect, 5 on each side. Max height med ball throw. So this is going to be from a push press style throw. So we're going to be setting up, just a soft bend to the knees, upright torso, boom, throw the ball as high as we possibly can. Let it drop and hit the floor. Back up, soft bend in the knees, boom, throw as high as you can. Let it drop and hit the floor. We really want something heavy there, all right? We want something we can put maximum oomph into without it hitting the ceiling or taking out a fan or something like that, all right? That's our speed or power movement for the day. We want to put max effort into every single throw to develop that power output. All right, so let's talk about logistics here. So on the strength, multiple athletes can definitely share the same strength station consisting of those 3 movements, meaning they can share a barbell, they can share a med ball for their throws, a dumbbell for their row, and so on. But we want them to go in that particular order, all right? So that means that a second athlete can start at the 30-second mark, since the movement should be taking 30 seconds or less. Or you can simply start them 1 minute behind the first athlete. So they're basically going to be taking 1 minute longer to complete the section as a whole. So they're just going to come in 1 minute behind and then follow back behind athlete number one. What we don't want them to do is to start at a different movement though. All right, we want them to go in that order. So do one of those two things to manage that. All right. So let's talk about the workout real briefly here. Very, very simple power output here. We're talking about that anaerobic energy system. Our focus here is on the output of the row, not necessarily the kettlebell swings. We want the kettlebell swings to keep the heart rate up. We want some good hinge-based movement, but we're not really making that a tough part of the workout. We would love for those kettlebell swings to be a moderate load and kind of smooth for that 30-second unbroken set. The row interval, 90 to 95%. We're getting after it. This is the centerpiece of the focus. And we should be rowing faster, ideally, than what we were rowing during our 30 on, 30 off, during that row power test that we did last week. All right. So remember, the absolute most important thing here, strength day, the overwhelming principle, the power of small repeated sets of heavy but perfect practice. All right, so make sure you let that be known and really pound that into your athletes throughout the day, that's exactly what we're looking for in these strength days over the course of the cycle. All right, I hope you guys have a good day. Feedback, please, 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 super valuable to me. All right, we need to have communication between everyone to make sure that we're ironing out the details within this first week so that everything else goes smoothly the rest of the way. Thank you, guys.